Hello, hello. So, this is gonna be our last body love video. It's been a pleasure and so much fun talking about this. But I kind of wanted to bring all of these concepts that we talked about from creating a healthy relationship with your body to from numb to yum, so understanding the sensations and everything that's going on in your body, to creating safety in your body. And now, how do you bring all these things together and kind of create like a body love ritual? How can this bring you even closer to you falling in love with not only just your body, because your body is so important. It's the vessel that we experience this life in. But I want you to know that your body is like a part of you. It is how you experience this world. And so it's important to love the vehicle, not only on the outside, but enjoy being inside the vehicle. Because all right, you could be driving a Bentley and like looking all fly and everything, but if you feel like shit on the inside, if your Bentley is tore up on the inside, like, all right, cool. People are gonna get inside your car and be like, or you might not be enjoying the ride that much if your Bentley is tore up on the inside. Um, that is the best analogy I could come up with in this moment. So we're going to talk about how to bring all these things together and create a ritual that you can lean into, that feels good to you, and you can come back to anytime you're just not feeling connected fully to yourself. So, whenever I turn things into a ritual, it means that it's sacred. It means it's allowing me to dive deeper into myself. It's allowing me to get to know myself even more so I can grow and fall madly in love with who I am. So I can show up fully for the people in my life, and especially my husband, who I deeply love. And I found that the times that I didn't love myself, the times that I was so disconnected from myself and numb, it really had an impact on our relationship. It impacted how I showed up in the relationship. It impacted how I was able to communicate in our relationship. It impacted how we made love or didn't make love. It really created uh, a scenario where I was deeply unhappy. And the more that I leaned into loving my body, accepting myself for who I am and who I am not, allowed me to start to love who the human that I am and be able to really open up and show him who I truly was, and then allow him to choose if like that's what he wanted. And I do this with, I try my best to do this with everyone in my life, to be who I really am and allow them to choose if that's someone they want to play with or not, if they want to have a relationship or a friendship with or not. And that is the most important part when coming or creating a ritual, a sacred union with yourself, um, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, whatever it looks like for you. And so, for me, whenever I sit down to do a body love ritual and there's a piece of me that's not feeling connected with myself, it could be my heart, it could be my self esteem. It could be my womb. It could be um, you know my sex, my pussy. It could be all of these things that just don't feel like it's a part of me in my everyday life, I sit with it. And I ask it, like, how's it feeling? What does it need? What am I ignoring? And I allow it to talk to me. And I get a truth, like a download of truth. And I have to accept that truth, right? In order to transform it. I have to see that truth and be willing to see that truth. And then I have to excavate it. I have to explore it. What are the sensations around that? Like maybe my heart is just filled with grief and sadness because I've been ignoring loving a piece of me that deeply needs love. Um, Maybe my self esteem, my solar plexus, is not feeling so great, and because I haven't been living to my own standards, I've been living to other people's standards, giving my power away. But what sensations come up for me? And just sitting with those sensations and honoring those sensations. And then I let those parts of me know that it's safe. It's safe to be there. It's safe for me to experience it. And it's safe for me to, start to give it a voice or movement. And that it's okay to, like, all right, like, this is where we are. How can we start to, like, heal, right? And then we can start to just pay a little bit more attention to that part and send some love and understanding to this part of us. Send some compassion to this part of us. Understanding, where have I been saying yes when I really mean no? Where have I been saying no when I really mean yes? And what has been keeping me from saying yes? What has been keeping me from my yes? Could it be fear of what other people are thinking? Could it be fear that I'm not good enough? Could it be fear that I'm not worthy? And writing that down and then finding, okay, well, maybe I don't feel worthy for full on pleasure and love. Maybe I don't feel like I'm enough to experience happiness and bliss in my life on an everyday basis. And start to understand, like, what's keeping you from that? And what's holding you back from experiencing that? And understanding that. And you're like, okay, what's keeping me from that is like fear around not being loved or accepted. And then letting that part of your body know, you know what, I will always love you. I will always accept you. And if you don't feel that way, just digging a little deeper of like, well, how can I get to a space of love and acceptance for this piece of me? And just being with it and loving it. And then even just moving it through your body. And if that looks like, if there's anger that comes up, maybe hit a pillow, maybe hit your bed. If it's sadness that comes up, maybe giving yourself some space to cry and like having that process. If it's like grief that comes up, maybe moving grief and like moving your body and just embodying grief. And then allowing it to show you the next piece that wants to be healed, and the next piece that wants to be healed, and the next piece, and knowing that it's okay, and it's a journey, and it's all about healing and understanding, and having compassion for what's coming up, and understanding what's coming up. And breaking yourself from the chains of just ignoring it and numbing it and disassociating from it, disconnecting from it. But really loving yourself enough to feel it and experience it. And this can be something that's super sacred and a process that you choose to do, like I said, once a day, once a week, once a month, and really creating the space for it, and like setting out the time for it, that you know you won't be um, distracted or interrupted. If you want to make, find a space that looks really beautiful, and or create that space, or go out in nature if that feels really good. And just really going through that process, that ritual of going deep and connecting with yourself on a level of really knowing, getting to know who you are, so you can walk powerfully through this world. So, yeah, I am so excited to share all of this with you. And I know it's just like scratching the surface. And so, what I want to do, what I plan on doing, is doing a webinar, and basically kind of making these ideas a little bit more compact and a little bit more like 1, 2, 3. So it feels doable. It feels like easier to process, because I know I threw a lot of information and a lot of processes and a lot of tools at you, and I didn't want to make these videos too long. But yeah, I would love to create a webinar of the process of body love, and like going from numb to yum. Like, how do you go from shut down to feeling like really good in your body? And what does that look like? And, what can that process possibly be? And make it a little bit more digestible. But I hope at least these videos gave you a little deeper insight into some of the processes and what it could look like. And yeah, I want to create that in the next week or so. So keep an eye out for that. And if you want to learn more, I will let you know where you can sign up for that. And if you can't come live, you can watch the replay. And yeah, we'll go even deeper. All right. I love you.